days to go until the Olympics. No one is running faster than John Furlong. Next on the News Hour, just try to keep up with the 2010 Winter Games #1 cheerleader. Brian Coxford followed him for a day and found out it's not easy. He is the CEO of the 2010 Olympics, and you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who works harder or longer than John Furlong. His schedule is far from 9 to 5. In fact, the only break he gets in his 7-day work week is when he only has to put in 10 hours a day on the weekends. And it's not coffee that keeps his energy up. As you'll see, it's his enthusiasm driven by a passion for sport. Brian Coxford has an exclusive look at a day in the life of John Furlong.
It's just before 6 a.m. and the CEO of the 2010 Olympics begins his day long before most people are up at his favorite gas station, which happens to be a game sponsor.
Canada is our friend.
John Furlong actually began this day on a flight from Quebec, arriving about 2 a.m. And after a couple of hours sleep, he's still excited about the buzz surrounding the torch relay in Eastern Canada.
You go into other parts of the country and everybody is just in awe.
Most days he turns the lights on at the VANOC offices in East Vancouver, starting a normal 12 to 15-hour day jammed with events and meetings. And he does this 7 days a week.
So what time do we head out?
About 6:45, 6:50.
Furlong's been here since the beginning through the 14-year process.
Vancouver.
First as a volunteer board member, then as CEO of the bid committee, and for the last 8 years, head man at VANOC. He has survived at the top in a job where over the last 2 decades, every Olympic CEO has been chased from the job by scandal or fatigue.
The days are long and they're fast-paced, and you can see just by being here how important it is to have a team that's organizing all of the pieces of this.
Okay, have a great morning.
Okay, thanks. Let's go beat up on Rick Clough.
On his way to a regular appearance on CBC Radio, he checks and answers hundreds of emails and phone calls he gets every day.
It just wouldn't be fair for us to take an alternate position. We will look like we've abandoned our own values on this.
Quite a weekend for our athletes.
They go into every event with high expectations. They risk injury.
For you?
Thanks.
And the clock is ticking, and nobody knows that better than the CEO of VANOC, John Furlong, who is here.
Let me tell you, having seen the story of the opening ceremonies, having seen what's going on inside the Cultural Olympiad planning, it's going to take your breath away.
This is a special purpose road trailer for this vehicle.
My goodness. Well, for anybody coming down on the line or coming up on the line, what an easy way. Because, you know, getting into Granville Island is always, you have to think about it.
While the rest of us are going to work, he's been at an unveiling ceremony for Olympic rail cars.
There's not a bad seat in the house.
Toured the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, where the IOC will hold its gala evening 3 days before the Olympics.
What time are we going next door?
And then off to a First Nations pavilion for a christening.
Shame on you for coming here and not giving everybody one of these.
It's not 10 a.m. yet, and he hasn't even had a coffee.
Never had a cup of coffee in my life. Don't even know what it tastes like.
So
that's a fact.
So coffee break isn't
There's no such thing as no, it's not. The role of the mayor of the Athletes Village is a very important role.
The day includes welcoming the honorary newly appointed mayors of the Athletes Villages and meeting twice with the media.
Oh, not you.
I'm supposed to ask you about the Mohawk.
Keeping the secrets must be tough. How big is that challenge?
Oh, it's big.
You know the final torchbearer.
Yes.
Is there a plan B?
Always, because if we got to a situation where it became known that the biggest surprise of the show was known, we would have to change it.
You'll change it.
Yes.
But this is a big person.
Yes.
There are the flu shots, H1N1, with the new board chair, Rusty Copal, who's taken over from the late Jack Poole. And a must every day. After 13 and a half hours, it's off to the gym to burn off 800 calories. It gives him energy. Without his workouts, Furlong says the long days wouldn't be sustainable. With just 60 days to the opening ceremony, Furlong says he hopes the public will judge him and his staff as hard-working, honest people who are doing their best for Canada and the athletes.
I hope that people feel at the end that we said what we would do and we did it, and that we didn't tell any lies, we didn't cheat anybody, we lived up to our commitments and our promises, and we were honorable about it.
That would make a guy feel lazy, wouldn't it?